street racing?
Like the history in general?
Yeah.
I don't believe anybody knows the real history. I believe that when Henry Ford drove the first Ford off the production line, as soon as the second one came out, they raced them. That's probably where it started. Street racing has evolved so much over the years. I mean, street racing probably didn't even start with vehicles. It probably started with horses.
Yeah. Well, we could all agree, well, that's a funny outtake. I don't feel like he's too far off with that. I'm pretty sure that, you know, folks were racing on foot first. You know, maybe back in the you know, Greek and the Roman times, I'm sure, they raced horses and chariots and everything else. So, yeah, racing is one of the older professions. But in all seriousness, comment below. Let me know what you thought about the small tire season. We learned a lot from some of the things that we saw. We're guessing some the cars are, you know, 580s on the street on small tire. Some of them maybe a little bit quicker. Actually, yeah, there's a handful that are definitely quicker than that. That's not bad. You know, I kind of wonder to myself, like, how would Big Chief's Corvette, how would that have competed in this show? Sad to see that he didn't do it. Whether you like him, love him, hate him, whatever, I felt like he kind of should have been part of it, even though he removed himself from, I'm pretty sure, like Wall Street Outlaws ever. He's got a great YouTube channel. I love it. I love watching him work on the motors and tuning stuff and teaching. It's a lot better than this channel, but you know, there's room for everybody on YouTube, right? What are some things that we learned? Doc was really shocking. If he didn't sleep on that light, he may have put enough space between him and that Honda to take home Street Wars. I really don't know how they called it based on the slow-mo and the stop shots they showed. It's really too difficult. I mean, I would have been really curious to see if anybody put up an argument. I know Doc was definitely disappointed. He feels like he has the fastest car, and he shouldn't. Not because it's Doc, but because that is a big boat. That is a heavy vehicle. You know, Ryan Martin, he got some space put on him. He beat Daddy Dave, you know, beat Farm Truck. Chuck lost. Dominator lost. And this is the first time all season they really raced each other, which I thought was pretty cool, despite the fact of the opening show that, as Sean indicated, anything that moves can and will be raced, right? So pretty interesting. I liked the show. I know a lot of people didn't really get into it. They weren't as impressed with, you know, having less horsepower and the cars being a bit slower. But I felt it was more approachable. Like, I feel like I could get a couple of credit cards, push them to the max, and maybe be competitive against some of the folks. So that kind of drew me in, right? The active, hey, I could participate if. Whereas I feel like the big tire cars and MPK, I just know that's way out of my reach. It's way out of my motivation. Definitely way out of the budget. No question there. I'd need a ton more watches here on YouTube to even start browsing for parts. But all kidding aside, I think it was a great season. I think they're going to do more with the small tires. I've been watching some of the things coming out of Australia with the MPK cars, and I'm lukewarm on that. I'm going to reserve judgment until they edit it properly and show it to us. But pretty excited. I am not watching JJ's Fastest in America. If you are, please comment below. I just don't think it's that interesting anymore. They didn't make enough changes to teams. It's just, you know, it's a rerun of a rerun of a rerun, and I'm going to sit that one out. Well, maybe I'll catch some. I like a couple of the racers, but can't wait for all the new stuff. More dates coming out in MPK. Keeping Mike Murillo in our prayers. And let's close the video out with some more action footage. I always love a little before and after video to, you know, sandwich this monologue.